I don't care, baby, about the
We made it.
Nigga, we made it.
Clap along.
Y'all come on in.
Feel like a room without a room. Clap along if you feel like
Y'all come on in, share this with your friends.
Clap along if you know.
You know, we got to play a little music at the beginning.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that.
Y'all come on in.
Give me all you got, don't hold back.
Hey, what's good?
I should probably warn you, I'll be just
Hey,
fine.
what's going on, people?
No offense to you.
Hey, y'all, we made it.
Here's why.
They ain't think we was gonna make it. Sheeta May. Oh, Sheeta May.
They gonna make it. Bam gonna make it. Hell, you mean?
One of these days, we gonna make it. Hey, y'all know where we at. We at the Den over here. Remember the Dan search for data, entertainment, and news. And we got fun topics for you. You want to reintroduce yourself, Sheeta, in case they forgot all about you?
Sheeta May Bullock.
Do you own the rights to this music?
I don't own no goddamn rights to no music.
Jack.
I don't know damn rights. Now don't come to me by no rights to no music.
I don't know nothing.
Let's be clear.
Okay. Hey, y'all, we happy today. Some may find it funny, but we are happy. Are you happy?
I'm ecstatic.
Okay. We got us a guest today that's going to be on the show. I wish you guys are tuning in long enough to see our guest. We got a black trans man today. Going to come on and do his best to
Name of Red.
by the name of Red.
They call him Red.
They call him Red, and we're going to do our best to have a real substantive and informative conversation and probably address a lot of things y'all been wanting to address. And shout out to Sade.
Thank you, Sade, girl. You was a lifesaver. I was looking for the video and could not find it to share it myself. You're the bomb. Hey, girl.
Yeah, shout out to Sade in the chat room. We're back. It's been a while since we've been back, and we miss you, Vicky. We miss all of y'all. And we have a lot of different things going on today. But the first one for today, we're going to explore some different LGBTQIA topics. A bunch of different questions. So just think of that on top of your mind. You know, you got a lot of things on top of your mind when it comes to that.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that needs to be talked about extremely bad. It's buzzing. It's a buzz lately.
Especially if you're out here in Dallas.
Everywhere. Dallas.
Everywhere.
Across the country.
Across the nation. And it's something that is supposed to be controversial with the Black ADOS community. So, is it controversial? Is it controversial to you? That's what I was told.
That's what we're going to delve into today.
Yeah, for sure. Before we dive into that, y'all know you got to share it, put the thumbs up, like your video. The link is in the description if you check out the YouTube, okay? And trust me, if you live in Dallas, we're gonna hit on all the other stuff that's going on. Trust us, right?
Absolutely.
Very soon, very quick.
Absolutely. We got so much to talk about. We've been on CP time, but we here and we ain't going nowhere. We're gonna talk and we're gonna give you what you love to hear, the truth, or at least our version of the truth.
For real, there's so much stuff going on in Dallas. You got the elections going on. You got the homicide rate turning up on a Tuesday. You got Chief Hall, doing her thing, dribbling, freestyling.
Eurisha. Yeah.
You got some trans homicides going on. You got some random people getting shot. You got parks being built. There's so much stuff going on, man. A lot of stuff we're gonna hit on. What's up, Sharonda? We miss you. We miss you, Sharonda.
Hey, Sharonda.
Yes, the District 7 forum is coming up. You got the John Wiley Price music video. People are going to be twerking, I heard. You got the South Dallas. Yeah, for real. You got the South Dallas community meeting going on. Come on, we got to run into each other soon, right?
I just want to braid his hair for the video shoot, so get at me. John Wiley Price.
For real. So we got 4 questions for today. Please be active in the chat. We got 4 questions for today. She said you're looking cute, sis. We got 4 questions for today.
Baby, you know how we do it.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know how we do it. We're gonna line up the questions. All right. Number 1, is the black community homophobic? We just gonna put it right out there. Okay. Is the black community homophobic? Question number 1. Question number 2. You want to tackle question number 2? You want to tackle the Trinity?
Is the Holy Trinity homophobic? Man, woman, and child. If I'm pro-family, which in the context of this conversation is man, woman, and child, am I homophobic?
Yeah, I think that term, even, for real, we're going to get into it.
Get into it.
For real.
After
I'm trying to dive into the question.
question.
Question number 3. What are the parallels between the black and the LGBTQIA struggles and history? Because a lot of times it's compared, so let's talk about some different parallels. And then the last one, what is the racial impact of including LGBTQ in our advocacy, in ADOS Black advocacy? Because there's a racial impact,
right?
Because there's a lot of non-black people who are LGBTQ. So
it's a vast community.
So
it crosses. It intersects, but is that the right word? Can I say that? Never mind.
Hey, make sure y'all share this before we dive into the topic. We really appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm going to share it because that's what I do.
We sipping on a little something in the red party cup. We ain't going to tell you what, but, that's how we do it.
Yeah, it might be a tense conversation. It shouldn't be. It might be tense in the chat room. So go ahead and sip your little libations a little bit.
I got my fam with me. I've known Red.
I got my people
for years. He's a trans man. And he wants to weigh in on the conversation. Y'all know I don't mess up my pronouns for nobody. I got to love me some Red. But for me to change my pronouns. But yes, today is going to be a great show. This topic has been a buzz. We've had a lot going on dealing with the LGBTQ community, and it's difficult to broach the conversation, to have a serious conversation, because it's a lot of sensitivity around the subject.
For sure.
And being an activist that fights for issues dealing with the Black community, these topics come up a lot.
A lot, yeah. Especially when you get into organizing spaces and, you try to have like a general Black conversation that's really centered around economics, right? Something that we all pretty much relate to, our economic situation rather. And it seems to always.
Donna.
Hey, what's up, Donna? What's up, Lisa? Y'all share this.
Lisa.
It's, at least in my experience, is always pushed to the forefront above what I think to be more important issues. And if that is not addressed first or correctly, then nobody wants to go forward with like a Black agenda, and then you might be even labeled homophobic. Yeah. So I think if you define homophobic, and that's what we got here in our notes, if you define it, we can with some interesting findings if you define it. So of course, homophobic is we thought it was the hatred or the strong fear or aversion to something, right? So like arachnophobic, scared of spiders.
Yeah, they don't hate spiders; they're scared of them. I'm not defending anyone that's homophobic, but
yeah, but actually,
I thought a phobia was a fear.
I thought a phobia was a fear too. That's what I thought. But if you actually look up the definition of homophobia, and y'all actually look it up, it actually says a dislike or prejudice.
Okay.
So a dislike or prejudice is slightly different from like a hatred or even a fear. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you look up the definition of phobia, definition of phobia is an extreme or irrational fear or of aversion to something.
Hey, Nikki. Hey,
what's up,
Tamika.
Nikki? What's up, Tamika?
Hey, Kim.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all for coming on in with us.
What you think about that? The clashing definitions. That arachnophobia is the fear of spiders, but homophobia is a dislike or prejudice of behavior.
I think it's worth a discussion, and that's why we're doing this here today. So, do you think being a Black male and growing up and immersing yourself as an adult in the Black community, is the Black community homophobic?
No, it's not homophobic. There's a level of homophobia in all communities, but here we're talking about the Black community. There's for sure a level of homophobia in the Black community. You know, it's not traditional or like normal, I should say, to engage in homosexual activity. I mean, we used to being presented with traditional, more like socially conservative relationships, man, woman, child. Even in the Bible, man, woman, child. So for sure, to present something else is like
an alternative lifestyle.
An alternative lifestyle by definition. And so when people say it should just
Hey, Lauren, thank you.
When people label you as homophobic, basically because you have a prejudice towards it, which is something that you're not immersed in, or something that's not been presented to you, or something you haven't lived through, then yeah, there's gonna be a level of homophobia. But as far as in saying that there's a fear or extreme aversion to, no, I haven't seen that.
I can say when I was younger,
disco. Come on.
Everybody loves disco. But anyway, I can say when I was younger, I could have been labeled homophobic. I honestly did. I didn't know enough about and hadn't been around enough people that enough lesbians, I should say. Like a gay man, he doesn't make a difference in my life. He ain't paying me no attention. But a gay woman, I always thought that if she was gay, she was gonna have to like me or something. And so once that became clear in my mind, I really believe once I went to jail and I had to be around all kinds of people and live very closely with them.
Intimately.
Not intimately, but very closely with them. I learned that people are people type thing. And
how long ago was this? Was this like last week you're talking about?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, we're talking about the Black community, and you know, and I speak of that, you know, like I said, I was more accepting of a male gay man than I was of a female. Mm-hmm. So
and vice versa for men, that's usually how it is too, right? We're more accepting of a lesbian relationship or friend than a gay male friend or a freaking gay pornographic video.
So I guess the question would be, as far as preference and as far as prejudice goes, is the stigma of being gay in the Black community, is it the same as like the dark skin, light skin thing? Is it something that is a common thing? Just the difference of opinion, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion. So
does that make the community homophobic, or is having a difference of opinion homophobic?
No, that's just societal pressure to accept something that's mainstream. And to me, if you disagree with it, whether you were born with it or that's your choice of lifestyle, I mean, as long as you treat people with respect, I don't think it's wrong to be like, no.
Hey, Sheila.
What's up, Sheila? I don't think it's wrong to stand your ground and be like, no, here. I'm not with that.
Right, you know, right. You have to be honest with any friend, and any friend you cannot be honest with is not your friend, and I don't care to be around them.
Even when you dating, you know, there's a conversation last night where we said, should a trans person reveal themselves while you're dating, or should your boyfriend who you're talking to say that he's been in a previous bisexual or homosexual relationship? You know, that was a topic on the Issa Rae show, right? You know, she was asking him about his previous relationships, and dude ended up being, I was going to say a previous homosexual, but dude ended up having a same-sex relationship at one point, and she cut him off. So that was like a big topic. Then Insecure season 2. So are you homophobic because you don't want your man who you talking to have a previous same-sex relationship?
See, and that's why, again, I can say it's important that we're having this conversation because when you get into lifestyle choices and acceptance or whatever, it has to be reciprocal. It can't be just one-sided. So if I tell you I'm straight, I am, for the sake of this conversation, when we say pro-family, we mean man, woman, and child. I prefer a natural man that should be respected, period. And if a man says he wants a natural woman, and it's just so much that goes into this, and why we have to have. I can't wait till Red call. Hey, Kiamber.
Hey, we got some conversation in the chat. Lisa says, facing fear, prejudice, or accepting change, or starting over new needs to be talked about more.
Yeah.
Love the conversation.
Girl, and it's not even an issue where I think we largely disagree.
My bad.
I didn't. Did I open it?
Oh no. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But it doesn't mean differences of opinion make us interesting. It doesn't make us enemies. I argue tooth and nail with so many people on Facebook daily about a plethora of things.
Yes, she does, y'all. For sure.
And we all love each other. At least I know I do.
Ooh.
No, that wasn't shade. Stop it.
Okay. Tamika asks, what's up, Tamika? You are classified as a sharer, apparently. You share a lot of things. Question. Tamika's in the chat, y'all. She's in the Facebook chat. We're streaming on YouTube
Mama,
too.
Hey, Carolyn Rose.
Yeah, we're streaming on YouTube too, but we got a question in the Facebook chat before we dive into the next question.
Oh, y'all, Facebook messing that. Tell you to share it or not.
You said that.
Thank you.
Lord,
I just called. I had to look at it.
Question by Tamika. Do you believe people are born that way? What y'all think in the chat? You ain't about to give me.
Hey, we getting that call. We're getting that call from Red, the one we've been waiting on, the one we've been anticipating. Red is a phenomenal person.
What's going on? Hey, I only have a few minutes because I'm on my break at work.
Hey.
But I want to try to take it around this time so I can at least give you a couple minutes.
Oh, good.
Some of the questions you sent.
Hey, y'all let us. Hey, what's up, Red? This is Bab. I want to ask the audience real quick if they can hear you. I really appreciate you for your time. Can y'all hear Red? Hey, what's up, Red? Go ahead and tell us what you got going on your break real quick, and then why don't you dive into those questions? We're definitely going to give you free range on this. Go for it.
Okay, cool. So I think the one I want to address first that I think is, I think it gets worded incorrectly. I don't think we really look at the big picture when we say this. But there was a question that you sent, Sheeta, that said, does being pro-family mean that you're homophobic? I don't understand the difference. I don't understand why there's a difference, why pro-family is separated between LGBT, black. Pro-family is family. Family, I got family that I'm not related to in one piece, form, or fashion. Rashida being an example, that are closer to me than the family that I am blood related to. So when y'all say pro-family, I think of family, period. I don't think of a mother, a father, and children. I think of a happy household where children are being raised with mental stability, with financial support, with what they need to succeed in life, regardless of if it's a male parent, female parent, two parents, one parent. To me, a family consists of what you put into their household. Now, I do understand the procreation part of it, of keeping the black family alive by having a man and a woman create children and have a family structure. I get that, and I'm all for that. But what I'm saying is there shouldn't be a divide between the two. A healthy family can come from either way. And procreation in 2019 can come from either way. So you don't necessarily, I'm not even saying this to be funny, but you don't necessarily need a man and a woman to make a family. You need sperm and egg and parents that are going to be there for those children. So I guess I don't put those in the same bucket, because to me, a family is built on structure and not a man and a woman, or two men or two women, or one single one. To me, that doesn't even, it isn't even relevant to me personally.
Right. In the broader sense, I agree with everything that you just said. But I know you're at work and you didn't hear the beginning of the show. I announced that for the purposes of this conversation, we're using the word family to mean man, woman, and child.
Okay, got it. Understood. So coming from your point of view, I definitely understand where you're coming from, because there is a need. And I will say this, regardless of if it's LGBT, regardless of if it's a straight couple, I do feel there is a need in the Black community for the Black man to be a father. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with the family, the basis. I grew up with my grandparents, and there was my grandfather and there was my grandmother, and I watched how they did things, and I watched how they built their family structure. And I totally agree that it is missing, that basic family structure of a father going to work and providing, and a mother being able to be there with her children. That is missing, especially in the Black community. And I think sometimes we put so much emphasis on not being offended and not saying offensive things and not wanting to step on anybody's toes, that we can't address things correctly and honestly without being afraid that someone's going to take it the wrong way.
Right.
So I'm totally with you on that one. I think Black people need to get out their feelings, for one. I think we need to get out our feelings. Gay people, we need to get out our feelings. The LGBT community needs to get out of our feelings and understand that it's a big, everybody should understand it's a bigger picture. It shouldn't even be a divide right now. And this is going on to another question that you asked. It shouldn't even be a divide right now between the Black community and the gay community. You should not be able to be a racist gay person. Period. It's an oxymoron. It makes no fucking sense. How are you gonna have passed judgment on somebody and then ask not to be judged?
But it's an everyday thing. Like whole empires are built on that.
It is. You're absolutely correct. There's a lot of people that feed off of, especially right now with a lot of the transgender crimes that are happening. There are people that are really showing support for that. And, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like you, Rashida. Okay, if you're gonna support what's right, then support what's right. You're gonna support all the way across the board.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right. Any movement has to stand on principles.
Correct. Now, here's what a lot of people don't understand, and I think this is where we got away from a lot of things. The Pride movement started as a stand against police brutality. That's what the Pride movement was. The LGBT Pride is not about getting out here dancing in rainbows and, oh, we gay and we want to be gay and you don't accept us being gay. That's not what it's about. The whole Pride movement started as a movement against transgender men who were being murdered by police. That's what so the two issues started together. I mean, at one point, these two issues were being addressed together. People were coming together saying, hey, this is a big deal. Not only are police killing these transgender men, but they're picking out Black men to do it. So how about we just all come together on this agenda and bind forces? And that's what was going on in the 60s and 70s. The LGBT community and the Black community had banded together to say, hey, we're going to stop this police brutality. That's what the Pride Parade was about. Now for showmanship and for what's the word I'm looking for? Sensationalism. Pride has turned into everybody get out your rainbows and be as wild and eccentric and as flamboyant as you can be, and then that's the new definition of gay. That's not where this started from. I'll tell people all the time, I'm not 2019 gay. I'm not this LGBTQ elemental P. I don't know what none of that is. What I do know is right and wrong is wrong, and anybody, regardless of your skin color, your age, your belief, your whatever you got going on, deserves to live their life healthy and happy. Whether you are a black man, a black gay man, a white man, an Asian man, if we can get to the point where people understand that right is wrong is wrong, because if you don't see the problem, if you don't think it's a problem, you are part of the problem. And until everybody realizes that this shit is not dead, this shit is all on one page, like all of this goes together. We need to stop dividing these issues up into little buckets, because as black people, it all rolls into one. At the end of the day, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether you're whatever, the first thing they're gonna see, you don't have gay written across your forehead, but you wear black skin all day long. So the first thing they're gonna see is that.
Right. And so that's kind of the basis of the conversation, because like I was saying in the beginning of the show, these topics, as being an activist fighting in the streets for black lives, I do have to fight for black trans lives too, you know? So with that being said, or black gay lives. So do you think, with that being said, there should be a distinction because of the current climate where, I mean, there shouldn't be any other race that's gay, that's prejudiced, but there is a lot of that going on. Do you go to the regular pride, or do you go to the black pride, or do you go to pride, period?
I don't go to either one because nobody knows what it means. Just like I don't celebrate Juneteenth because I'll be damned. And I don't celebrate Columbus Day because I'm a Native American. Like, I don't do things just to do things. I do things for a purpose. So there's no purpose in the pride parade to me, because nobody is out there talking about pride. Everybody is out there selling products, shaking ass, you know, mingling, whose girlfriend is with who, what is. It's no purpose to pride. So I'm not gonna get out here spending my money at the same clubs, seeing the same people, just because you labeled it Pride Month. I wear my pride every day. I wear my pride when I get up in the morning. I am a proud transgender black male. That's how I see myself. When I get up in the morning, I wear my pride every day. You know how I wear my pride? If I see somebody that needs help, I help them. If I see somebody that needs a conversation, needs an encouraging word, I give it to them. Right. See, if people would understand that that's how you develop foundations, and that's how you rebuild communities, we're not going to get anywhere, Rashida, and I'm going to tell you why. Because of the simple fact that we even have to have this conversation. As a black community, there shouldn't be no extra divides. We can't get right with each other because there's too many black people judging each other. We're so worried about what the next one is going to say, and how we're going to deal with these white folks, and how we're going to get these police off our ass. Well, first let's start with how we going to get these niggas to stop being niggas.
so you do
look at each other as human beings.
Okay. You got a question. Okay. Bam has a question for you.
Hey, what's up, Red? I got a question for you. What was your experience when you decided to be a trans man? Like, what was your experience when you, A, told other people about it, and then B, when you ultimately completed your transition?
To be honest with you, it really wasn't, the only real issue I had was with my mother. That's really, to be honest with you, that's going to be the only issue that I had and still kind of dealing with. Other than that, to be honest with you, Ral, I have been me since birth. I mean, I could go back. I wish I could show you guys, like, I could go back and show you baby pictures, high school pictures, just before I knew what gay was, what transgender was, what any of that was. I knew that I liked boy things. I did what the boys did. That's just what it was, and it was natural. It wasn't because somebody forced it on me. It wasn't because there wasn't any girls around. My grandmother was very much a lady, very prominent in my life. I was raised by heterosexual people, so none of that was the case. But in coming out, it was more difficult for me dealing with my own emotional and mental state than anything else. People kind of look at the transgender like, okay, well, you decided to be this and that's what you're doing, so, you know, whatever. But it is a lot of emotion and mental things that go into that that whole thought process. Like, I went through several years of trying to figure out what, and when I say what, I mean what. I was trying to figure out what I was. Like, why am I having these feelings? What is going on? What is wrong with me? Like, what? It wasn't until I actually moved to Dallas and got to talk to some people and experience some different culture and diversity in this area, you know, coming from a small town, that I was able to say, okay, I'm comfortable enough in my own skin that this is who I am. And just slowly but surely, just to be honest with you, I'm still just being me. I haven't changed anything. I haven't changed one thing that I've been doing in the 38 years that I've been on this earth. I'm the same dude that I've always been. It's just y'all found a label for it. Y'all found the label to put on it.
Okay.
So I said, okay.
I don't even like the label. You know me, I don't agree with the LGBTQ community. I think that Black, gay, and trans people should be, I think it should be a distinction.
Correct.
And this is something I wanted to ask before your break was up, if I can. Do you think that there is a difference between the dark skin, light skin battle with the black within the Black community and the LGBT or the gay conversation in the Black community?
I think they're on two different. I think they're the same issues, but kind of two different spectrums. I think they need to be addressed and looked at kind of the same way, but they are two separate issues. Like when you say do you mean in the Black community, like as far as Black people addressing the LGBTQ issues?
I was trying. It's a question I'm trying to formulate, but it's not. I'm not articulating it in the best way.
So are you saying like the way that we battle within our race with light skin and black skin people? Do you think that same thing? We have that same battle with the LGBT?
Yeah. Do we have that same energy for all of our prejudices within our own community?
Okay, gotcha. So Black people are the most hypocritical people on this earth, and I'm just being rude. We are the same people that say, "Tell me if I'm doing something to bother you, tell me." And the same motherfuckers that I don't want to hear that shit. Yes. We are the same people that do that. We don't know what the hell we want. So what we end up doing is we end up letting outside influence tell us what should be correct. And then we judge each other based on that. We let the same people that we say we need to ban and be strong against, we let them tell us what's correct and what's acceptable, and then we go judge the rest of our community based on that. My grandfather used to say, don't talk about somebody unless you're going to help them. Because if you're just talking about them, you're part of the problem. I'm a firm believer in you sitting around talking about Sheila ain't taking care of her kids and always at the club and red gay ass over here doing this and that, blah, blah, blah. You sitting around doing all that, but what solution are you offering? Did you go tell Sheila that you'll babysit for her while she go get her GED? Okay, well, shut up then.
Right, that's how I am.
Exactly. You're not offering. I think as far as that light skin stuff goes, I've dealt with it both ways. Because when I was coming up, light skin wasn't in. The dark skin was in. So the light skin kids got picked on. And then it kind of came full circle to now I see a lot of my dark skin babies getting picked on because of their skin color. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've seen both sides of it. You know what I'm saying? I got tortured for being that little bright skinned kid with the long curly hair. Got my pigtails pulled and pinched and all of that stuff. So I understand how we battle against each other. But then now to see it come full circle to where dark skinned people are getting picked on goes back to what I just said. The reason it's happening is because now the fashion world says light skin is in. Now, over the past few months, what have we seen? Darker models, they're highlighting dark-skinned people. Now, all the black people are black is beautiful. Well, y'all wasn't saying that, though, until the white folks start putting it on a magazine cover. Why wasn't black beautiful before the white people start saying it was beautiful? Whoa. This is the thing that bothers me about our community. We wait for other people to say things are okay. Same thing with these. As soon as somebody say, "Hey, these are the hottest J's in the world. Go pay $200 for them." We got a line of 400 people lined up to go get these shoes.
Then they lick the bottom of the shoe when they buy.
Hey, there's a book out there. If you haven't read it, I want y'all to read it. It's called How to Sell to the Negro. Read that book.
Oh, okay. She gave us a book, y'all. How to Sell to the Negro.
First chapter of that book tells you the best way to sell to a Negro, just raise the price. Because Negroes are so concerned with flamboyance and outshining somebody, it could be worth $3, but if you put a $30 tag on it, they'll give you $40 for it. That's how we are. And this book was written in the 60s, and it's still true today, which goes to show the mind frame that we are still in. Before we start battling everybody else, we need to figure out what's going on with ourselves and come to an agreement of what's going on in our own community before we let somebody else start dictating what's right, how we're going to ban against the police, how we're going to do this. Well, how can we even come? Rashida, I see your post where you are giving instructions, giving information, giving knowledge, giving your opinion in some of them. And you have these ignorant ass black people that come under your post that just prove the point that I'm making right now.
Right.
Well, I don't see you trying to down this man. We got this black man trying to do this for the community, and you want this and this and that. This lady just told y'all this man a clown and showed y'all proof of the clownishness, and you still up here defending this motherfucker.
Right.
You ain't read nothing. You ain't read nothing.
It's a manufactured thing. And that's why it's brilliant that we're fighting right now in Dallas about crime. I'm gonna get off topic for a second. We're fighting about crime and stuff, but it's just kind of like they cause the system is who I'm talking about when I say they. They create a condition. And so you're effed in that way because the economics is all the way at the lowest point that it can be. Your your education is at the lowest it can be. Your skill level, everything that contributes to your livelihood. And they create this situation. Baby, I went blank for a second. They create the situation, and then you're still effed on the back end because you're gonna go to jail for trying to sell dope or sell cat or sell whatever you're gonna sell to make you some money to feed your children. You know,
one of my favorite artists in the world is Tupac, and something he said a long time ago has always stuck in my head. He said, these people will give you all the ammunition you need to kill yourself. And if you fall for it, you'll be right in the plan.
That's what's happening.
They're going to set you up with everything that you need. They're going to give you every little trinket, they're going to point you every which way. They're going to put you on a path to exactly where they want you to go. And if you follow that path, you'll end up exactly where they want you to be. It's up to you to be able to have enough discernment. Thank you. To have enough discernment to know when somebody is setting you up to fail.
Yeah, man, but I remember vividly being 15 years old and walking out my front door, and the only thing was out there was some something to drink, somebody to fight, somebody to food,
Now let me tell you,
something ignorant to do outside. And I was able to abstain, not to cut you off, but I was able to abstain and maintain, my composure and who I was. But everybody's not gonna be able to do that. Their parents were.
I thank God for my country upbringing, because when I meet people my age, I can tell who's from Dallas. No shade, can't say Dallas natives, but I can tell who was raised by a parent that was 16 years older than them and didn't have no big mama and didn't have nobody else to get in their ass. I could tell because they talk different, their mannerisms are different, they act different. It's a whole, ain't no pleases, ain't no thank yous. See, I was raised by my grandparents. I was raised in a household that had respect. I had my little freedoms. At the end of the day, you're going to do what it is you told. And we was raised to have respect for everybody around you. The way that we have our children coming up now, we as parents are prioritizing for them. And the priorities that we set as a birth are, you need to have nice shoes, you need to have nice clothes, you need to have your haircut, you need to know all the songs on the radio, and you need to have all the swag. And when you're 18, get out of my house. Where does that build stability? You spend 18 years teaching them how to be fly, and then at 18 you say, okay, you're 18, you're grown. See you later.
That ain't what I tell mine, but you're right.
These white kids succeed because their parents let them stay in the house through their 20s, teach them how to be adults, show them how to invest money, show them what parenting is. They give them time to develop into adults, and then they get out on their own. Black people, we think, ooh, my kid's 18, I can't wait for them to get out the house. Was you ready at 18? What makes you think they ready? We continue in the cycle of putting out people, we're putting out bad product. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're having all these babies and we're putting out bad product because we're not taking the time to develop them into mentally stable people. Yeah, we're making sure they got swag, but what is that going to do in the long run of your life?
Right.
Yeah, your baby cute, but he don't know nothing. What we going to do with this little boy that's cute? He real handsome, but he don't know nothing. He got a mouthful of silvers and can't even count to 10. Like, I don't understand what we're doing with our children. And we got to start there. We got to start with love, have some love. Stop getting out here with these guns, man. Stop being scared of an ass whooping. Because in my day, if you got beat up, you just got beat up. And then you go back tomorrow and you might fight again. I mean, whatever. Now people scared to take an ass whooping. Nobody want to take an ass whooping. Everybody want to go get a gun, shoot a phone.
They ain't fighting. They finna shoot you.
Yeah.
They finna shoot you up.
You done shot everybody but the person you meant to shoot. You see what I'm saying? You done shot it. You got a gun and don't even know how to use it.
Yeah. So we definitely appreciate the time. The chat is live in here. So we definitely appreciate the time. We got a lot of love in the chat. So we're definitely gonna dive into what you said a lot more. And
cool.
I'm sure.
Shit, I'm off at 10. I don't know how long y'all got going, but I'm finna go back in. If y'all still going live when I get off, I'd love to join you back again.
Well, we'll definitely continue these conversations because they need to be had. And the fact that you was on your break is awesome, but it's kind of unfair to like kind of addressing the different topics. So I appreciate all your input. You're an amazing person. I love you dearly. Go on and knock out that last hour or so, and
go out, continue that last hour.
You have a good night.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, I think it's lovely that he's at work.
It's an ADOS. It brings us back full focus.
Yeah, right back
to the original topic as far as how do we do this.
It brings us back to everything, to the focal point of everything that we try to like make a point about here. He's at work right now, and we're talking about LGBTQ issues. We're trying to have a deep essay and a deep dive, and while we were building up to the show and telling people about the show, hey Lisa, hey Alvin, let me say what's up to everybody. Hey Lisa, hey Alvin, hey Amy, Jordan, all the people in the chat that just got in.
I have to look at my phone.
Yeah. Hey, I think it's indicative of like what we saw as we were building up to the show. We had someone comment that gay is actually denounced as a term and offensive, actually. This is the first time I've ever heard this. I've never been told this. I have a lot of friends and associates and different people in different spaces who are sensitive to this stuff. I've never heard it. Gay has been denounced, bro.
That's why I love the fact that Red just got through saying he don't even go to Pride. He don't even want to go to that silly shit. He said it's silly. Not me. I've never been, so I can't say whether it's silly or not. But he don't want to go to that silly shit because it's silly. They don't understand the origins of Pride, according to, the history. I'm not altogether familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, it's indicative of like what we've been trying to talk about here, economics. And he made a lot of good points, and he basically covered everything. The 4 questions. He talked about the parallels. He talked about the Stonewall riot and kind of the catalyst for
these folks don't know what movement. The
Stonewall riot was a riot up in where was it? San Francisco, where the police was killing a bunch of gay, trans, lesbian folks for partying and just having some fun, and they was up there. No, it wasn't San Francisco. I'm sorry, that's Harvey Milk. It was Bushwick Village up in Manhattan, New York.
Oh,
and
okay.
there
That
was
all the way up.
Yeah, and they was killing a lot of gay and lesbian people. So they came back and they rioted, and they were turning up, and that was kind of like the catalyst of the gay and lesbian movement, as it was called then. Now it's called LGBTQIA, and now that gay is no longer a term, and it's a term that has been replaced with SGL, same gender loving, and it's a term that's created by a black man. Apparently, it's a term created by a black man for black people who love the same gender that don't feel appreciated or included in the LGBTQ movement, which they say is white Eurocentric. Which again goes back to the point that why are we making everything primary and not like race first, and like economic situation as a result of the race. But apparently gay has been denounced. So, I got the data. And so I was looking at the data, and there's people that did the study, and they went to LGBTQ pride parades, and they said like 12 and 16% of people responded saying they use SGL, and most people don't. And even the people who I've spoken to as I built up to the show, communicated with, 80 to 90% of them told me that gay is not offensive. They use gay. And so it's like, come on, man. We got to be freaking like academics to learn all of the new terms, what's offensive and what's not.
Gotta go to gay college, y'all.
I think, like Red said, honestly, and a lot of people are not gonna like this, a lot of times just being too sensitive, man. And we don't know like who we engaging with. Like, anyways, all I gotta say is that the person who started this was a white man. So why is even a white man commenting on what is correct in black spaces? I don't know. We need to check people on that.
We need to check people on what we're willing, how far we're willing to invest ourselves in someone else's lifestyle. If I tell you, hey, you're cool with me, I love you just the way you are, and you tell me the same thing, I don't have to come to the club that promotes this or go help you write a movie that promotes to show my affection or my affinity for you. And you don't have to do that for me. So all of these, oh, call me this. Oh, make sure you don't call me that. As long as I'm not trying to disrespect you, it's okay to educate me, but you're not finna I'm not going to gay college.
Nah, I can't. I can learn as best as I can in conversation and my little research, but
I'm still in nigga college. I ain't learned everything I need to know about how to break me free out of, that jam up right there.
You heard me? And I think Red made a point to our second question about the controversial concept of man, woman, child, the Holy Trinity, family. She says that anybody's family, right? And so I think it's funny because you kind of took a step back and you did what a nigga Fula does. And he's like, wait, well, the definition of family is this. Like, that's what they do in law. They're like, I ain't steal nothing. Well, according to our law books, theft is this. He's like, what? Y'all just made up some shit. Yeah. Just like they making some, we over here abiding to like what I think is a whole culture and terminology of people just making up stuff. So now you're telling me a phobia is not hatred? A phobia is not irrational or extreme fear now? A phobia is a prejudice towards another person. So now, like you kind of did. Your counter was, well, family is defined as this. Okay, well, yeah, man, woman, and child is family. Boom, chess, mate, checkmate.
Okay.
I kind of went into that deep, but I'm just saying, you made your own definition of family, and your definition of family is man, woman, and child, right?
No, I said for the sake of this conversation. See, I went to law school on TV, so I didn't say nothing out of turn. For the sake of this conversation, when I say pro family, I'm saying man, woman, and child. Is that a file?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying you made your own definition of family or pro family. like other people make their own definition of other stuff, and you just gotta abide by your definition. Because to me, that's my idea of family, preferably.
So I mean, I'm just, as far as, it's just so much. I read an article the other day saying that a trans woman, meaning it's a biological man,
Born man
who has transitioned or starting who identifies. Thank you.
Gotta get them definitions right.
Identifies as a woman, and he was incarcerated and transferred to the women's facility.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So if they rape him down there with all the women down there, they finally get their chance and they take it. What what are his?
Yeah, I feel you. That, I mean, when you talk about different players playing in different leagues,
we're gonna have to turn this mother out. I mean, I know I sound old, y'all. We're gonna have to make their own bathrooms. We're gonna have to get their own sports league. I mean, to make it fair. You're not gonna be batting me upside my head. Did you see that? What that woman?
I did.
He bust her head.
Y'all saw that UFC fighter busting? Hey, listen, I asked the question. You gonna be
Fallon Fox
you gonna be beating your daughter ass. You gonna let him beat your daughter ass like that? Hey, we asked the question in the chat. How many gay or lesbian friends are in your circle? Everyone reply with a number.
Oh,
okay. You want to read off some different replies? Because we want to see who's watching.
Lisa say 10. She in there. She fucks around. You know what I mean?
Lisa fucks around.
She's not prejudiced.
Okay. What else we got?
Amy said 4.
Hey, Pearly's acting up in his chat room. Pearly's acting up. What's the other person? Amy said 4. Sade said none. That's none to her knowledge.
I hate Sade. Girl, you don't know no gay people. What you call them? SGL? I'm sorry. Was we politically correct? Or?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I think we should go ahead. I guess we kind of already addressed the third question: the parallels between the Black and LGBTQ struggles of history.
What are the parallels?
What do y'all think the parallels to the LGBTQ and Black history? Mm-hmm. In my notes, I have, like Red mentioned, most significant thing people mention is treatment by the police, Stonewall riots, and Rashida and I, we talked about the Stonewall riots a little bit over the week. Obviously not the location, but we did talk about the context of it, and I guess we can dive into that mistreatment. Leading up to the Stonewall riots, you had picket lines. They were doing a lot of picketing, like the Black history. But one thing we pointed out, one thing we noticed, and if someone can correct me if we're wrong, but we didn't see any other Tamika said she has one nephew and one cousin that's gay or lesbian. Pearly said he identifies as a goat.
Greatest of all times. Like Muhammad Ali.
And then Sade said she knows at least 5 to 6 gay or lesbian people in her kind of outer circle.
Too much. We're not listening to you anymore.
That's the outer circle. But yeah, we noticed that there wasn't any large riots leading up to or after Stonewall riots, whereby you can name a lot of different race riots over the history. So I think that to bring up the similarity, there's no deeper comparison outside of a person not liking you. That is what I was trying to draw a parallel between when we were speaking about is there a difference between me not treating my dark-skinned son as well as I did my light-skinned son, or me treating my straight son better than my gay son, or whatever? Is there a difference in that? I think that people have prejudices in every community, and I would never take away from anybody's struggle, but nobody came here with the whole entire gay family and the whole entire gay lineage that was oppressed over generation after generation. And so when we speak on these topics, we have to be
because this is our life, our livelihood, something that some people consider us to be behind on. We have to be very specific about how we place what value, what priority we place different things on. That's why I love Yvette Cornell, because they said that she was gay on a recent episode, and I don't remember any episode where they brought that out. And she's a perfect example of someone to me that keeps their private business private. And not to say she's running from it or scared of it, because I'm trying to figure out, I mean, you know, me being a grown woman and knowing people, I knew.
Yeah, I want to comment. So Yvette Cornell, y'all, is one of the founders of the ADOS movement, American Descendants of Slaves. So y'all should check them out, ADOS 101. And she has a very popular YouTube channel where she tackles Black politics like nobody else.
She's on now. Don't turn us off.
So, no, don't turn us off. So she is SGL, right? She's SGL. And it's something that she's never brought up in the episode. Now, I'm going to push back on on your language when you say keep your business private. I don't want people to think that who they love should be in private, because who loves not in private. Now, I hear a lot of people say, well, it should be back in the day where they should just keep their business in private. Well, like that was the freaking issue. Like if a dude couldn't kiss another dude in private, or a woman couldn't kiss another woman in private, at least in certain areas, right? And so I don't want them to be like, oh, we can only kiss each other when the door is closed, or like in a bathroom. Like, no, you should love who you love freely. So I don't adopt the language where people say, well, they should keep the business private. Because shit, you should keep your motherfucking business private. How about that? Bam.
Yeah, it wasn't that deep, Jody, but I did misspeak, and so it's his job to make sure that we put out the right message, and I appreciate you for that. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So hold on. So back to Yvette. So Yvette mentioned in the episode that someone claimed her movement, the Black Lives Matter founder, Alicia Garza, said that she was homophobic and anti-immigrant because of her stance with reparations. Well, Yvette Cornell is SGL. She's the same gender-loving person. So how can you? It don't even make sense. And Pearly in the comment section says that she's a man-hater.
Pearly, where you get that from?
You are profoundly wrong, but that's okay. But yeah, I mean, Yvette fights for reparations and for Black issues, and she
fights hard for Black men.
And she don't be like, oh, come on, especially Black men. She don't be like, oh,
she check a chick
LGBT,
real quick about a Black man and the Black male struggle.
Yeah,
and I know it to be true, the Black male struggle, because I had brothers and sons, so I saw it firsthand. Well, secondhand. What's that?
Secondhand.
They saw it firsthand. I saw secondhand manhood for a long time in my life. So, just everything is different. But
and you sitting next to a man right now. You feel that shit?
Secondhand.
Hey man, I'm liking this conversation. I really am.
Yeah, I can't wait to have it again and have someone here so it can be fair and we can discuss these things, because Red talked a little bit about financial literacy and stopping crime, and I tried to give some root issues to those problems that we don't tend to get a lot. We need to do this, we need to do that, and we done it. That's why we tired. That's why they call us lazy. We tired. We done tried everything twice.
Yeah.
Or more. And it didn't work. You know why? Because it's rigged. The system is rigged, and that's the whole thing. Reason why we have these discussions and stuff for Black folks, ADOS.
For sure. Do you think, I guess before we get into the fourth question about the racial impact, because Red touched on that too, what do you think about the term or the phrase What do y'all think about it too, Chad? What do y'all think about the phrase "the gay agenda"?
I think it's real.
Like, what's the first thing that pops in mind when you hear "the gay agenda"?
Because I was reading an article that said a trans person shouldn't have to tell the other person. And I don't think broadly everybody that's trans believes that, but just for the ones that do, that is a very, very, very crazy thing to play with. And if we're going to address these issues, we need to talk about that conversation you need to have with somebody when you meet them and you transgender, and you need to tell them this truth about yourself. It need to be before you exchange phone numbers to me.
You know, I know someone who was on Tinder one day, and the person told them, like, through the initial conversation, that they are TS. So they were about to meet up, and the person like, I am TS.
All right, TS, I'll see you in a minute. Goddamn, pin your location.
Oh, you don't know what TS is?
So if you're not familiar with that, transsexual,
okay,
but
there we go.
If you're not familiar with those terms, you out of there. You finna roll up on some new shit.
If you are a horny ass nigga who is trying to bust a nut,
wrong type of nigga to be.
You will oversee that TS for sure. So they sent me a screenshot of it.
Oh,
and it was just in lowercase too. So I'm like, how you even gonna know? Nigga, she said, yeah, nigga, I'm about to go.
Bought lessons is the best lesson.
But it just goes into what you said, what's the rules of engagement? What should be the dating protocols?
He shouldn't even been texting somebody that he didn't know what gender they were. If I can't look at you and right out tell your gender, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got some ignorance in the chat room, I think. But we're gonna let the chat room do its thing. We're gonna let the chat room do its thing. Make sure y'all share this, show your friends and all that.
And see that's why they do say they speak about the murder rate and stuff like that. But I don't want to sound like I'm trying to make a black on black crime type of topic, but a lot of these crimes against gay and lesbian people are carried out by other gay and lesbian people, like that Pulse nightclub stuff. I knew that dude once they kind of gave his profile. They didn't have to tell me that he had met a man that night and he was, wilding.
I didn't even follow that, and I haven't looked at any of the data behind that to let you know.
Right. Well, the guy was he was gay, and that's not to say if you're gay, you're more prone to violence or anything like that. This is just another example of how intercommunal shit go on inside your community, what you're familiar with and stuff like that. What we need to talk about is violence. As far as what's going on in Dallas right now.
I mean,
and they do say we do have somebody. How many transgender people have two? Just Malaysia and a lady in the lake.
I think I read this was
3,
4 in 2 years or something like that. 2 to 3 years has been 4. But yeah, there was one most recently 2 weeks ago. Then Malaysia was obviously a month ago. Let me look under that. So the fourth question is, what's the racial impact of including LGBTQ in our advocacy? And I think the racial impact is clear. If you don't specifically say Black LGBTQ or Black queer or Black XYZ, then the racial impact is that you're including white people. You're including non-Black people who don't have the same lineage and struggle as yourself. and that's very dangerous because, like Yvette says, if affirmative action is not only for the descendants of slaves, if it's only for everybody that's not white, then there's no point of affirmative action. And really, I want to push back on what she says. She says for everybody who's not white male is what she says. And I want to push back. She really means everyone who, because if you're LGBTQ, then you can be a white male actually, right? Or does affirmative action explicitly say not white male? Like whenever you start including LGBTQ in any of legal language, you are including other white men. So I had a conversation with a guy at a debate we was hosting, District 7, South Dallas. What's up?
Hey.
And he said, what struggles does he face? He is a white gay man. Like with a straight face, he really thought being a white gay man negated everything else and put him on an equal footing as everyone else around him. Because this was a debate centered around Black issues. Now, like, if I was an ADOS, if I had a lineage that came from slavery and he told me that, I probably would have punched him in the face. Because how can you say with a straight face, like, what struggles are you facing, right? So we dived into that. Yes, I'm white man. So we dived into that, right? And the answer was that he was dating a Black man, right? But he bought his truck for like $30,000. I'm like, you got cash for what? You got more cash than what everybody in District 7 makes for the year. The median income in District 7 is like $19,000. So you bought a $30,000 truck for cash that nobody in your district, including your boyfriend, can afford. You don't see the privilege that you're afforded simply because your great-grandfather owned slaves. Because he's gay, all of a sudden. So it's a huge racial impact of including LGBTQ. And I just plead everybody, if you are advocating for LGBTQ, include Black in it. And then from there, realize that being Black supersedes your your sexual orientation or your gender choice. What you think?
Yeah, we're gonna have a long conversation about what I think about that because like Red made reference to it. You can't see my genitals or what I like done to my genitals when you see me. You see my color. You see I'm Black. And that's a determining factor for a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I would like to know, and I haven't found any data behind this, but a lot of people say, well, all the Black gay men are in high positions, right? Which has some truth to it, right? It does have some truth. But I would like to know the actual data, like what's the median income and wealth level for Black gay men? Or are we really just saying a few gay Black men who we know are in good positions, like Tyler Perry or whatever, or at our job? Lee Daniels is a few gay Black men we know. Are they used as like dummies or props for the rest of the general gay Black population who's broke, who's in the same wealth position, income position as most Black people? Which brings us back to what we talked about, that's like the most important thing. So while we don't want to negate the differences and all the different views and issues of the Black community, and LGBTQ being one of those issues, I mean, the number one issue is our economic position.
Yeah.
That's one thing everybody can relate to. Red called us on break. Think about that. Thank you, Red.
Yes, that's my dog. A cook, a chef, an artist. Hey, a friend. Whenever I go over Red house,
he cook for you.
Gonna cook. You gonna play you some dominoes, some spades, or whatever. Drink. Have you a good old funky time. And that's some country shit we need to get back to. That's love.
I agree.
As far as this LGBTQ conversation, I don't think there's enough hours in the day. There's so much to cover, and I don't want to seem disrespectful to nobody's belief system because I don't want to be disrespected for mine. You know what I mean? So, my main thing is we need to be open to talk about this stuff. For the most part, what I've experienced is if I say the word gay in the chat or something like that, it's fire, 0 to 10 in 2 seconds.
I mean,
I'm like, wait a minute, goddamn! I love everybody. Anybody know me? I love everybody, But that doesn't stop me from doing and making sure I do the work that I set out to do. Making sure I do the work that'll enhance my child's or my child's life, because we got work to do. They trying to move District 7, that Fair Park over there, to District 2, ain't they?
Man, they trying to shift a bunch of people around and shift a bunch of people out. And that is what we are going to get into this month.
Yeah, they building a metropolis over a bunch of dead bodies and poverty and filth and funk.
Like, excuse me. I mean, everywhere on 10th Street, historic district over there by the zoo, freaking South Dallas Fair Park, like you just said. I mean, it's going to be a whole new landscape in about 15 years if nothing is done. And Pearly in the chat just realized Tyler Perry is gay.
Pearly played too damn much. Don't talk to Pearly. Don't do that. Pearly acting a fool. Get out my chat with all that.
So I think
no, we welcome it. We want all the smoke.
Yeah, hey, we like smoke. So bring it on, man. Bring it on. I think we done hit up a lot of good to great to awesome to excellent topics. We definitely appreciate the chat interaction. Hey, it's June.
Y'all show love today. I'm
real
full.
It's June.
What they say in church, I'm full.
Uh-oh. What do they say in church? What do they say in church, Sheila? Let me know.
I ain't been in a minute, but I'm, they say the Lord working on me.
Yeah, Sade, the Lord working. Yeah, Sade, in the chat, I agree. Sade. Speaking on, she's talking about the redistricting that the people don't know about. Hey, they're about to redistrict Austin. The people in Austin, the state house of representatives, are about to freaking redistrict state. And they about to be like, yo, y'all need to like go over there real quick. We trying to do some stuff over here. And like,
just like my head just done like this, that's what you're like, gonna do too.
We're trying to do some stuff, and like, we can't do it with you like on this side of the line right here. So, we're trying to build a school right here, and like, there's some dogs running around, and we're trying to build like a mall over here. But like, you kind of too close to the. Actually, you can just stay here. I'm gonna just draw this line around you. Because
white folk coming at us like this, we're gonna take their hood.
They're like, yeah, we just gonna draw this line around you, and you can actually just stay right there.
Hey, Nigel. Hey,
that's basically what Austin's trying to do.
Hey, Sophie. I know she don't like that name. Hey, Sophie.
What else we gonna dive into? What's up, Nigel, Sophie? Hey, what else we gonna dive into? Like we said, we're gonna talk about the homicides, the redistricting, the mayor race. We got some mini episodes coming up.
Tell them about the forum coming up tomorrow night.
Listen, they gotta tune in after this. Right after this episode, we're gonna do another mini episode, like right after this, and we're gonna talk about everything that's coming up, like real quick. Boom, 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 boom.
For real?
You know that?
For real?
She didn't know that, y'all.
That's
boom, the
entertainment and news.
The music videos, the twerking with John Wally. Hey, it's all kind of stuff going on this week and this month. So if you're in Dallas, please tune in. We got a real special Dallas episode, and we're going to dive into it real quick, bullet fire. We really appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is where we get into it.
I look like I'm sneaky on here. My eyes look shifty. Okay.
You got any last words for the people? Sheeta?
Hey, man. It's been real. We missed y'all, man. We missed y'all.
Hey, if y'all miss us, tell us how much y'all miss us. We'll see y'all right after this. Do you own this? Do you own the rights to the song?
I don't own no damn rights now.
I don't even got rights.
Now we've been going in about this whole topic. Now they say, nah, they ain't twerking for JWP, is it? Well, he gave us biking tights in the 90s. We gotta do something for him. Me and she used to wear biking tights in the 90s, y'all. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
All right, peace, y'all. Much love.
If you feel like